Hey guys, what's up? It's Shla coming back to ya with another episode of Car Rides with Shla. And yeah, today was the first. So yesterday we had, like a semi-full load. Believe it or not, we had this semi-full load. And then today we actually had a full load of episodes to do, which is pretty interesting because it's been like a long time before that has happened. And yeah, I did a lot today. I did a lot of talking about stuff, and I don't know that I really had anything planned for right now, to be honest. But it is what it is. We are using the iPhone SE 3rd gen for the first time during the car, so we will see how that ends up going. Hopefully it's going good. I did remember to double check beforehand, but I think I'm pretty happy and ready to convert it over to the first. I'm sorry. I'm ready to convert it to the dedicated recording phone. And it's a fairly exciting uh, inhibition, exhibition. I don't know what I'm saying. Exhibit. Like, I don't understand. I don't really know where I was going with that, but anyways, yeah, it's pretty exciting. I'm pretty thrilled about it. Pretty excited. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm just feeling kind of like normal right now. Like I'm feeling kind of chill, chill about things. I don't really think there's much else to like comment on or anything else. I'm, excited about my setup. I only have one more long day, which is pretty nice, you know, because yeah, this week, yeah, there's only I only have to do one more long day, so pretty happy about that. I'll have two short days, and then I believe the day after. Well, yeah, it'll be like the same thing. The day after, I meant the week after. Anyways, um, yeah. So I'm glad we got through Tuesday. Like it's this week I feel like it started kind of slow. I feel like it felt relatively slow, and then now that we're here, it's like, oh well, things are actually relatively okay, and I'm pretty like happy and grateful for that. It's nice. It's a good thing. Um, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to it. There's not much else I really have to comment on. I'm noticing some strangeness here. Somebody was up to no good. Somebody was up to no good. Anyways. So, yeah. That's all there really is to it. And that's all there really is to say. Oh, well, I did want to rant about for a little bit is some criticism about, how I just post all my videos raw and how nobody wants to watch that. Well, first of all, there actually is still a lot of raw content out there. I mean, it's typically in the political realm or like the news reaction kind of realm, or again, it's live streaming. And that's kind of where I want to be at. I think live streaming is really my medium. I've talked about this before, but for now, where I'm at now, this is just what I'm doing. I mean, I don't really think that this is the final form of my content. I see this as a thing that people really should be able to get a pretty substantial enjoyment out of if they actually gave it a chance. But my honest, in a conjunction, and probably the more useful extraction from the series is going to be when it can all be fed into and funneled into some AI that can analyze everything and figure everything out and all this stuff. Like, that's really going to be able to give me an insight and a much like leading advantage moving into the future. I'm sure that I'll get contacted at some point, because when they're rolling out a lot of this new surveillance tech, they're going to be looking for candidates, and specifically candidates of depth, I would assume, at least, some. And I have a lot of material here that, people could go off of. So, it's just like, I have a feeling it doesn't seem like it's making much sense now, but for where I'm at in life, I don't have the energy to be editing. I never liked editing, and I also don't have the energy to really be doing anything else except for recording. I'm already running out of energy just to do the uploads. Like, I've downsized to just doing one upload a day, not because I'm not recording enough. Well, temporarily I sort of wasn't, but basically, sorry, one upload a day isn't really wording right. I downgraded to 7 uploads a week. I used to do 10. I could absolutely still do 10. I could probably do 11, if I'm going to be honest. The problem is the amount of labor it's taking to upload the videos. That is the problem. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of effort. So for me to have to like think about editing, for me to think about any of these things, it's just not really what I want to do. And the truth is, yeah, there are times where I don't really have a lot to say, but in this case, I usually do have something to talk about. Like, I put the mic on and I start talking. So for the time being, I think this is probably the maximum potential for my creative output. And I'd rather do this than do maybe, I mean, obviously I probably should think about, condensing or having more organized content, but I'm just not really at that point right now, and that's not really anything that I'm particularly motivated to do, to tell you the truth. It's just not something that's really striking me in any particular way. So I just yeah, I have that much to say. But that's kind of what I mean. I don't know. I'm just rolling with what I'm doing. And I have so much of an extreme mental block and a resistance to do anything more. And I mean, I guess it's possible that's limiting me. I don't want to be like closed to that fact, but I just think it would be too draining for where I'm at in life. I mean, if I got fired from my job or something, you know, I would obviously, well, but I still don't even think I'm ready for it. So I still feel like for what I'm trying to do in the future, who I want to be someday, it's so ambitious that you probably need this type of a just before story. I mean, someone who does 2 almost 40-minute recordings every day of just totally off the dome, not necessarily anything planned, while driving, mind you. And then in addition to that, if weather's permitting, they do 3 separate 20-minute recordings of the same nature. And again, wall walking, not even stationary in the studio. So in a studio where it's like dedicated time to talk, it'll be even better. But I need to have this precursor experience, I think. I mean, I don't, I'm assuming it's not really a bad thing. It can't be a bad thing, and then to take these transcripts and paste it into the AI. I'm assuming it's one of the best things I could be doing with my time. And I think the AI's response to this transcript would probably be, yeah, I mean, maybe tone it down. But you have to, there's something intuitive about it that I don't know that the AI can really read. And for some reason, it's very soothing and it's very therapeutic. I haven't mentioned it in a while, but it is very therapeutic for me to have this time in this space to speak. And I've mentioned before how really when it comes down to it, I prefer a microphone to a human in a lot of ways, because a lot of times with people, like I've gotten complaints before, oh, you talk too much. Oh, you don't give me a chance to speak. Well, no offense. Sometimes, like, the other person, like, well, no, it's not even that, because that's kind of rude. And I was going to, oh, well, I'll say it as a joke just to say it. No offense, you ain't got nothing important to say. But no, I'm joking. That's not what I think. I think what happens is I just have these very large and long ideas, and there's no other way for me to express them. So what is a guy supposed to do? I mean, yeah, I know that I can talk a lot, but I can't just say half of what I wanted to say. That doesn't make any sense. Does that sound right? That I would just say half of what I want to say because a person's patience or whatever is not there? I mean, I just don't know. I don't know exactly what the correct answer really is with this stuff, right? It's like, what is the correct answer? I'm not entirely sure. So that's kind of something I guess I want to get to the bottom of, but you know, who knows? Who knows what the solution is, honestly. I don't know that I have the answer for that, and I don't know that I will. No, I was just saying, I have no idea. I feel like forgot what I was talking about. That was just autopilot trying to round out like the speech, because I tend to do that a lot. And it's a very important skill. If you're making a speech, you got to try to make it sound like you know what you're talking about, even if you get like a little bit distracted and kind of lose your train of thought. It's important. It's very important. So, but yeah, I mean, hey, at least what I can say is as the days go on, as the days get better, no, as the days go on, like things are getting a little bit better. I'm able to save more money, except in all honesty, I'm not at the moment because I bought so much stuff. I believe it will take until February, probably like the end of February or March, in order for me to finally like move up in terms of a record for how much has been in my bank account. So yeah, I'm hitting a little bit of a stall because I bought way too much stuff and I don't even, but luckily that's kind of simmering down, or at least I think it's simmering down at this point. I hope, you know. But yeah, I mean that's all there really is to that. It's just is what it is, and that's that. But yeah, I well, actually I'm actually not really that tired. I slept very well last night. It said, like, my watch just said so, at least 96. And I kind of woke up and I didn't really want to wake up. So I probably would have slept more if I could have. So then, I mean, it probably really would have been like, I mean, I don't know. I've never hit 100 sleep score before, but I feel like yesterday it could have it could have struck it. Like if I was able to sleep more, because I got a 96, and that was again waking up but still feeling like I wanted to sleep. But by far not the worst morning. I still got out relatively fast, so it's what can I say? Like it's really, I still got up out of bed and was fairly on time, all things considered. So there's not really too much I can really complain about or say, you know what I mean? I hope I can get back to, I mean, I probably won't, but there really was a time I was on like a really good routine and just a good mindset. It was, it probably would be interesting to listen to the episodes from that time, when my job, I was able to really get all the hours I wanted, and I basically worked late every single day. And, yeah, I don't know. It's, um, it's interesting how much things changed, I guess. Um, I don't know what that guy was being like very confusing to me at least. Anyways, what am I talking about? Because then I had to like shift into the center. I don't really want to be in the center. Anyways, what am I talking about? Yeah, I don't know that my routine will ever get back to that point. I think my mental health, I mean, maybe it was worse, but it was also like low key better. That's kind of the thing. Like it was low key better, but I think I was in a manic episode, so it's a little bit like fake. It's almost like I was on a drug or something. So it's kind of cheating. Um, it was an interesting time though. I mean, it was really I wish if I could be like that all the time. I think I would be a very powerful person. And I don't mean power in terms of, like, I just mean like living within me, I'd feel fine. I don't think I'd really be worried about anything. But the problem is, I go through these slumps that last so much longer. Like I'm still in a slump, and it's been so long. I keep hoping, like, hey, have we finally hit rock bottom? I think it's possible we hit rock bottom. I'm not sure yet, but I do think it's possible that my this just kind of like state, it's possible. But again, the main thing is that in a lot of ways it's difficult to be hard on myself, like for not making more quality content, for example, because I I've already come such a long way. Yeah, well, that looks a little bit concerning. I don't really know what that guy's doing. I kind of want to get around him. It looked like he was kind of veering off the road a little bit, and he's driving like really slow. And it looks like he might be crossing over the, yeah, like, I don't know. I just wanted to get around him. Yeah, I mean, he might be going like 40 or something like that. To me, that's kind of, something could be wrong. I just didn't want that guy in front of me. Anyways, yeah, I mean, the things I'm talking about, it's real. It's real stuff. But yeah. No, sorry. I remember. I don't know what I'm doing. It's, sorry, actually, I remember what I was saying. In some ways, like, I don't know how hard on myself I can really be, because it's really, I've come so far. I've never, and I've said this before, but it's been a while since I've said it, I think. I mean, maybe it hasn't it hasn't been that long, but I know it's beating a dead horse, but I've never been this consistent with anything in my life. This is the first time that I've actually done something this consistently for this long. It's very, it's different for me. Any other creative pursuit I ever did, the music, obviously, it's visible on my channel, or making content. I've made videos on this channel. I've had other channels in the past. I always lost interest. But for some reason, just speaking, just talking, I haven't lost interest in. And I'm not really sure if it would have always been this way or not. I'm not really sure of that because I think like it's possible that maybe that isn't even true. You know what I'm saying? Like I I don't know if I always would have been able to pull this off. It may have been after working for a while and making that step. Then maybe after that, my mind was prepared to finally like hunker down into something, you know, because there's kind of this forced schedule and this forced time. And really, if I never had to work, I don't even know if I would have done this, right? So now I have something that even after working, I'll take with me forever, which is, you know, the love for recording and putting that above like other, learning that I have to put that above other people because it's important. You know, regardless of how much I keep getting criticized or ridiculed for my ideas, I know in my heart what my talent is now, you know? And I didn't know that before. I thought I was still looking for it and I was giving it to other people and you know, I realize now, remember I used to really value the private life and you know, having these kind of conversations with people privately, but then I noticed like I had to keep basically like censoring myself or dumbing myself down. Like I couldn't be myself to other people. I couldn't be myself to other people. I had to act differently than my true self. It just wasn't working. The things I would say, people wouldn't understand or they would criticize. And it's just no good. You know, it's just not a good situation at all. And so I'd have to kind of mask a little bit and just try to be funny and fun all the time, but then that would get draining and then, you know, I'd give up because I'd be compromising like 100% and the other people are only compromising for me. In some cases, zero, you know. So it's just the stuff I was dealing with. It's meant for a microphone. It's not meant for other people's ears. Really, it's too. It's way too. It's like too out there. Basically, it honestly is. It's out there. It's not stuff that is easy for people to digest. It's just not. You know, a lot of people get upset when I talk about these concepts, even if I'm doing it in as gentle a fashion as possible. Just the idea that, hey, maybe a lack of autonomy could be a good thing gets people so deeply upset that I can't even, I don't know, like I can't even get anywhere. I can't even do anything. You know, I can't really make much progress. So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, like I said, as time goes on, things for me do seem to get a little bit better. And it's just going to take time, you know. I think by the time, oh, that's scary thinking about how old I'm going to be soon. I mean, wow. It's not good. I really wish I could have just been given like a, you know, -5 years to my life. Really wish I could do that. Just take what I have, but I'm 5 years younger. I mean, seriously, that would be a treat. Because I wasted a lot of time. I mean, I hopefully it wasn't for waste. I guess I got something out of what I did. Because what I did, it was, it was more real, I guess. I mean, yeah, I wasted time with a lot of people on Discord who I don't even know anymore and I don't even, communicate with or anything like that. And that's tragic and it's sad, but it's better than what I could have done. I could have just spent more time on social media, and even the time I spend on social media, really just YouTube, oftentimes would be semi educational. And a lot of my consumption of that content has led me to what I'm able to do now. So, yeah, I guess you could make the argument that, like, you know, uh, if I was working a job this whole time, I might not really have as much to say, or maybe I wouldn't be able to talk in the same way or something. It's actually tricky, but it's possible because I guess my estimation right now, and I could be wrong about this, but I could be right. There's a lot of crazy, YouTube videos that I would see about, all different ideologies and like political perspectives and all these crazy things I probably can't even really remember and I never really consciously think about. But I watched and listened to a lot of different content and was exposed to so much. Like, I think it's pretty likely that out of most people, I likely have listened to more just like higher level kind of content voluntarily. But the most important and I guess the more interesting distinction is that it was never forced. I mean, yeah, it's possible that some academics who were in school, of course, they may have consumed more content than me, but I really had like such a hands-off life, and in addition to that, just never really had people to talk to. And yeah, that's done damage, but it also gives you, like, in my case, I think a peace. I think there's been a peace in that where I do really have my own time, truly. I've known people who are popular and they don't really always have their own time or space because there's always people who want to talk to them. Whereas I've never really had that issue. I mean, if I wanted to pursue something, there was essentially no limitation to that, And so that has definitely shaped me to be a very specific way. Part of the reason why I'm able to talk this well in a recording setup is because how much time I spent talking to myself just out of boredom. It's like, I have so much to say, just get tired of waiting for people after a while, and then, just end up talking to myself a lot. And it sounds like sad, but I don't really know how sad it is because a lot of it feels good and a lot of progress gets made when I talk to myself. I almost think more people should probably do that. It's fairly self reflective, you know? And so it's, yeah, I mean, but that's kind of my whole point is these things shape me in such a specific way. They really do. They really do shape me to be a person who I just wouldn't be had things have been easy and had I just gotten a job. It's possible I would have never known my gift. It's really possible, you know? I think it's not I just don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what would have been the case if I would have been working earlier because yeah, I may be a little bit healthier. I may be a little bit better off, definitely monetarily, but I also might be a lot more normal, and I might have just not really had as much insight into things or, a lot of that stuff can change you. If I had a bunch of money just sitting in my bank account this whole time, I would feel so differently about so many things. And again, if I wasn't exposed to all the crazy content that I was exposed to, I also would not be this person right now saying, like, But that's the main thing, is like the discovery of talking. I mean, I guess it's possible that even if I had started working earlier, I would have eventually done this. Like, yeah, it's possible, but it's also possible maybe I just would have never got here. Like, I don't know. Would I have really had a reason to? I feel like in this case, I had a reason to. And the only reason I even did it was because I was hurt so badly. Does that make sense? You know, when somebody lets you down so badly and so intensely, and you realize, like, you've wasted a lot of these dialogues, you've wasted a lot of attention on people, and they've backstabbed you and they've abandoned you, then I finally realized if I put it in a public facing format, my dialogues are eternal. You know, whereas as much as I think there's an allure and there's something special to a private conversation or a secret, well, it's almost more special to do what I'm doing and make it all public facing. You know, that's how at least I see it, because at least now I know it can't be erased. Even if YouTube took it down, I obviously have it. Still have all the recordings. So, and even if my computer broke, they're still on my phone. And even if my, like, you know, I'm always going to have this stuff no matter what. And I can't say the same for the time and effort I've put into people. You know, I just can't say the same for that. So it's the same way with, like, if I would have gotten the friends that I always wanted, if people would have treated me right, I don't know that I would have got here. Would I really got here? Really? I don't know. I feel like God really was, he was trying to kind of push and squeeze me to get to this point. Really, I don't know why else, cuz I'm sure, I am certain, if I would have gotten the friend that I always wanted, and if I would have actually gotten the relationship I always wanted, I just don't think I would be here right now. And that's like a really real thing. I may be a completely fine and successful person, but the cultivation of what I'm dealing with, I mean, it would completely, I do think that. I really do think my timeline changed because of the people I knew and the way they mistreated me. I think my timeline, I'm in a different timeline as a result of that. Anyways, it's been Schla, and now it's time to buy Schla. So, see you, Schla.